To learn active and passive voice, we want to know three things. That means, first of all, active voice means giving the subject to the important to the subject, important to the subject. And passive voice means important to the object. It means subject and object is compulsory to know. And means when you are writing in active voice, you must write the subject. When you write it in the passive voice, you must write the object. Okay, subject and object. So means to convert a sentence to active to passive, you required object. Okay, and opposite from passive to active, we need to write subject. That means in active, subject is compulsory. In passive, object is compulsory. Clear? Then first of all, let us go for simple present tense. Simple present tense. Simple present tense. Simple present tense. Okay. Simple present tense. What is the active form? Subject plus base form. Base form. That means with the plural. Base form of the verb. Plural. With the plural base form, or yes or yes form with the singular. With the singular subject. And here passive voice. Passive voice means, and we are giving the object to the, we are giving the important to the object. It means what is the object of active? It becomes the subject of passive. That means here also let us write subject only. That means here the subject means object of active. Subject plus is or am or are plus past participle form of the verb. Past participle form of the verb. Form of the verb. That means is with the singular, am with I, are with the plural. Let us go with an example. Read the exercise question number 1. What is exercise question number 1? He writes a poem. He writes a poem. He writes a poem. Here, first of all, we have to find out subject and object. Subject and object. Subject means who is doing the action. It is known as subject. Here, he does the action. So we can say he is a subject. And object is a poem. Object. That means this object becomes subject in the passive. And here we have given the important to the subject. And in passive, we will give the important to the object. So we have to start with a poem. And remember, we cannot simply write any isama. That is depending upon the subject what we have taken. A poem, that is a singular subject. So with a singular subject, which one we can mention? Is. A poem is. Then you see past participle form of the verb. Here we can see writes is the verb, right? What is the past participle form of the verb? Written. A poem is written. A poem is written. Who has written the poem? He. And when we convert into passive, you can written as by him. A poem is written by him. Let us go for another example. He writes a poem. Instead of that, we are going to write he writes poems. Poems. Here we can see subject. Subject is he only. Subject is he only. And verb is writes only. And poems object, right? And we are giving the important to the object in the passive. Right? We are giving the important to the object to the passive. And object is poems. Poems. Here we can see the difference. You can see here a poem. It was singular. That's why we have put here is. Here poems, plural. The plural subject means are we have to be. Poems are written by him. Poems are written by him. See the difference? Only here the changes comes. And here. Sorry, here and here. Poems. A poem is, poems are. That means simply we don't think that here is comes, S form comes, that's why here is comes. No. Here poems comes. Poems is a plural subject. With the plural subject we have to use are. With the singular subject we have to use is. Okay. He writes a poem. Clear? Did you get me? Yes. Okay. Next question. Let us go for an interrogative question. Interrogative question. Take out the interrogative question. An interrogative question has given there.
Deeply.
That is plural subject. Any other interrogative question? Do you need money? Okay. Do you need money? Here we can see the question is interrogative. So answer of passive. We are changing active to passive. This does not mean that we are changing the sentence. The sentence meaning is same only. And in another form we are writing passive voice. Okay. That means we are giving the importance to the object. Here you can, so we need object. So you here subject. Who is doing the action? Doer. Subject. And need is a verb, main verb. And money is the object. So we have to give the importance to the money, the object. So which is suitable for money is or is. Right? Money is. So when you write, if you start with money is, it become a statement. Right? Then we have to think what is the question? Do you need money? It was interrogative, right? So answer also must be in interrogative. Got it? Answer also in interrogative. Instead of money is, what we can write? How can you make it as interrogative? Is comes at first. That means begin with the auxiliary verb. Is money. Because for money suitable is. Is money. Then use the same past participle form of the verb. Needed. Is money needed? Who needed money? By you. Is money needed by you? Did you get me? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Clearly? Yes. Okay. So once again, let me say. Okay, one more example. Let us say they play hockey. Now they play hockey. Actually, here plural subject. Here plural subject. Subject is plural. That's why base form of the verb comes. And here hockey object. And when we take hockey to the passive, that means the object becomes subject in passive. Here what is object? Hockey. Hockey becomes the subject in passive. Hockey, which is suitable for hockey is. See the difference. Here it was plural subject and base form of the verb. Here hockey becomes singular. So that's why we chose is. Okay, if it was plural, we have to choose are only. Otherwise, if it was I, we have to use am only. That is, here is, am, are not. Is or am or are. Is or am or are means is with a suitable subject. Am with a suitable subject. Are with a suitable subject. And suitable subject for is singular. For am is I. And for are is plural. That means when singular subject comes, you have to use is. When plural I comes means you have to use am. When plural subject comes means you have to use am. When we are taking into the passive. Okay, here plural comes, here singular comes, not like that. Both is chance like us here. He writes a poem, singular subject. No, singular subject comes in passive, singular subject. That's why here written a poem is. And when it comes as poems, it become plural subject. Here changes comes are. Got it? Did you understand? Yes. Okay. Hockey is played. Hockey is played by them. Clear? Okay, let us go for present continuous next. Present continuous tense. subject plus, here I am writing active form, plus is or am or are plus ing form of the verb. ing form of the verb. ing form of the verb. And what is the passive form? Subject plus is or am or are plus being, being, being plus past participle form of the verb. In passive, always past participle form of the verb. That means here subject, both cases we can see subject. It means that the subject of active become the object and object of active become the subject in passive. Let us go for an example. The boys are, read the question.
The boys are.
The boys are
Flying kites.
Flying kites. Flying kites. Here from the question itself we can understand, see the boys plural. That's why here are come. That's why here are comes and flying kites. Boys are. That means is or am or are means is with the singular and with the I, are with the plural. The same things it will be there. And subject here, that means object of active. What is object of active? Let us see. The boys subject and flying become the verb and kites become the object. And we know that in passive we are giving the importance to the object. And kites and here kites plural. Plural subject means are we have to put. Kites are. And don't think that here comes are, that's why here also are. No, if it is kite only, it becomes is. Here kites is a subject now, that's why are comes. Instead of kites, kite only there, we have to write is. Or instead of kites, there is I am. So kites are, then what is the form? Being, B-E-I-N-G, being, and past participle form of the verb. What is the past participle form of flying? Flown. Kites are being flown. Who flown?
Boys.
By the boys. By the boys. And let us, and we have, as I told you that means in active subject is compulsory, in passive object is compulsory. But sometimes we can omit the subject of active in passive. Let us go for an example. And it is not compulsory to omit, but if you omit, that is also correct. That somebody
Is knocking the door.
Somebody is knocking the door. Somebody is
Knocking at the door.
knocking, K-N-O-C-K-I-N-G, knocking
At the door.
at the door. And we don't know who is knocking the door. Somebody. So, but because of active subject, inactive subject is compulsory, and it is subject, and knocking verb, and the door object. And here we can see that active is not the object, the door. कहाँ पे knocking कर रहा है? The door. Where it is? On the door. Right? Knocking at the door. What happened? Okay. So let us see what is the passive form. Passive form means subject plus, subject means object of active. What is object of active? The door. The door. The door is singular here, right? So the door is singular. So which is suitable for the door is. The door is being past participle form of the knocking, knocked. K-N-O-C-K-E-D, knocked at. And that means subject is not compulsory. That means that here object it is not compulsory. If you write that is correct by somebody, it is also correct. Grammatically it is correct, but it is for a stylish English. The better do not use if you don't know the person. Okay, and here we are given the importance to the object. The door is being knocked at. The door is being knocked at. Okay, clear? Okay, let us go for an interrogative question.
How are you arranging the money?
How are you
Arranging the money.
arranging the money? How are you arranging the money. How are you arranging the money? Here we can see WH word. So it's begin with the WH only. How? It is not compulsory. Means it is not a tougher one. WH comes means begin with the WH. Instead of who, we can put by whom also. And who is also correct. Otherwise, you always write WH1. That means where, when, what, like that one. Every begins it. And we have to see are arranging the money. Okay, how are arranging the money? Here let us see how are you arranging the money. No? Subject is there. Yes, how are you? How are you arranging the money? And here you become the subject, right? Subject, arranging verb, the money become the object. And we know that the money is the important for us because in passive the object is compulsory. And object means subject is compulsory. What is the object of active is the subject in passive. So the money, and we know that it is an interrogative one. So we have to begin with the izama. Here because present continuous tense. Izama. We have to begin with the izama. So the money is means it will become passive. Statement. The money is statement. So we have to write into interrogative. Which is suitable for the money? Is. How is the money? Don't write how the money is. How is the money? How is the money? Then form. Being. How is the money being arranged? Arranged by you. We know here the person we know. So by you have to write it there. And if somebody means it was not compulsory. If it was mentioned that somebody. So it was not compulsory like that. Did you understand? That means here you see the how. Are you arranging the money? Simply you see, are you arranging the money? Instead of that, I am writing here, are you arranging the money? That is an interrogative one. It was yes or no question. Sorry, it is an yes or no question. It was a question. It was a question. And here we can see, are you arranging the money? Same only. Are you arranging the money? That means what was answer? Instead of how, other than how, is the money being arranged by you? Is the money being arranged by you? Because several students may get confusion. Then WH question comes. Doesn't matter. Symbol only. Both are same only. See the difference. Only here how comes. That's okay. So let us go for present perfect tense. So what is the active form of present perfect tense? Subject plus has or have plus past participle form of the verb, PP form of the verb, past participle form of the verb, and passive form is subject plus, that means object of active, subject plus has or have plus being not being, B-double-E-N, being plus past participle form of the verb. And we have seen that every passive form, past participle form is compulsory, not any other form. Okay, let us go with an example. Read the question. Anyone of the question read it? They have done the work. They have done the work. Right? They have done the work. A statement question we have. They, subject, have done work, the work, object. And as we know that the work becomes the subject in passive. Let us take the work as a subject here, the work, and singular. The work is singular. The work here you can see how used because of plural subject. Here singular subject we have used has. The work has been done Done by them. The work has been done by them. Subject plus has been plus past participle. By them, the subject. It will become the object here. Okay, let us go for one more example. That is interrogative one. Has she learnt? L-E-R-N-T. Learned the chapter. Has she learned the chapter? Here the subject is she. Right? And learned verb. The chapter become the object. And we know that we have to give the importance to the object in passive. The chapter, which is suitable for chapter, has or have? Has. Tell me, the chapter has or has the chapter? Has the chapter. Why? Because it is an interrogative question, right? In interrogative question, they are in passive also, interrogative. Has the chapter. Has the chapter been learned?
Present perfect.
Learned by.
So you know that what is the form of present
It is a
perfect
question.
tense?
So interrogative.
Subject
So
plus
they are also interrogative mark.
has
That's
or
all.
have plus been plus ing form of the verb. Ing form of the verb. And this question you must know it. And present perfect continuous. That means perfect continuous tense. We cannot express in passive. We cannot express in passive. Cannot express. So it does not have any form. That means it cannot be converted into passive voice. And we have active voice means present continuous tense, present perfect continuous tense. Sentence we have, that means simply I have been studying in ISJHS since 2010. So that is it, 2010. So it cannot be expressed in passive, simple past. Let us write the active and passive form. Subject plus past form of the verb. Otherwise, simply we can say past form of the verb. Past form of the verb. That means second form. We can write it as second form. And passive, subject plus was or were plus, what is that? Past participle form of the verb. Past participle. Always in passive, past participle form. Clear? And what is it? Give an example. A friend helped me. HLPD. Helped me. A friend helped me. How let us see. First of all, as usual, subject and verb and object. That is compulsory to know. So it is better you always do in this way so that you can understand it. Even when you are doing in the exam also, do the same process. So you can take this object as a subject in passive. So which is object? Which is a subject in passive? Me. Me means I. Or I which is suitable was or where? Was. I was helped. Third form also the same, only helped. I was helped by a friend. By a friend. Let us have an interrogative. Come on, one question. Really? Did Bond invite you?
Did Bond
Invite you.
Did Bond invite you? Did Bond invite you? Did Bond invite you? And let us take the subject. Bond, subject, invite, verb, you, object. And always remember, here help will come. Here invite will come. Here invite will come. Invite will come. Because did plus invite is known as indirectly invited. That means did plus invite. Did plus invite, it is equal to invited. Remember it. Do plus invite. That is invite only.
Invite only. Does plus invite.
Invites.
Invites only. Invites. So sometimes in the question invited given means that means it is included. Invite only means do is here. Invites means does is here without any helping verb. When it was given, remember it. Like as play, do play. Plays, does play. Played, did play. Like that. Okay, did Bond invite you? So who invite you?
Born.
Bond. So here subject becomes the object here, right? And object become subject. Here which become the subject?
Object. You.
You. And which is suitable for you, was or where?
Where.
Where. It is an interrogative one. So begin with where. Where
You.
you. Where you
Invite.
invited.
By bond.
Where you invited
By bond.
by bond. By bond. And it was an interrogative, so don't forget to give the question mark. Otherwise, interrogative. Okay, let us study about past continuous. Past continuous active form. Subject plus was or where. Was where not. Was or where
Plus ing.
plus ing form. That means write VING. That means ing form of the
Verb.
verb. Then here passive form. That means object becomes subject, right? So let us write subject plus was or where plus being. BEING. Whenever ing form comes means remember being come. Being plus
Plus for.
past participle form of the verb. For BPB we can write BPB past participle form of the verb. Ing form of the verb we have written as VING, right? Let us write BPB. BPT. What does it mean? Past participle form of the verb. Read one question from the exercise.
A young girl was picking flowers.
A young girl
Was picking flowers.
was picking
Flowers.
flowers. Flowers, no? Okay. A young girl was picking flowers. A young girl. Subject. Subject means who is doing the action. And picking, verb, and flowers, object. Was picking. Was is a auxiliary verb. But also verb. Here I am taking the main verb only. Okay. Picking. Okay. So we know that this object becomes subject in passive. So we have to start with the flowers. And don't think that always the object become object in the last. Anywhere it can come. In the middle or last also we can come. So flowers, which is suitable for
Where.
where. Flowers is plural. So where we have to put. If it was flower, what you will take here?
Was.
Was. Flower was, flowers were, plural. Flowers were being
Picked.
past BBB, past participle form of the verb.
Picked.
Picked. Picked. PICKD. Picked
By a young girl.
by a young girl. By a
Young girl.
young girl. Okay? Let us have an interrogative too.
Why was the police?
Why?
Was the police?
Why was a police?
Was the police?
Why was?
The police
The police
checking all the cars?
checking
All the cars.
checking all the cars. All the
Cars.
cars. WH1, let it be here. Subject. Who is doing the action here? Police, right?
Police.
Subject. Subject. Verb. Checking. And object.
The cars.
The cars. All the cars. Not only cars. All the
Cars.
every cars we are checking, right?
Yes.
So that is the object. Okay. So let us begin with the Y. WH1. Okay, here we see it is an interrogative.
All the cars.
So was the police? Was all the cars? Yeah, where all the cars?
Where?
Because here all the cars, right? Plural. So why?
Where?
Where all the cars?
Be.
All the cars. Remember, why don't write all the cars where? Where all the cars? Why where all the cars?
Be.
Being. Being past participle form of the verb.
Checked
Checked
by the police.
It is not compulsory by the police because we know that it is a permission for it is a authority only they have. It's a chance to check. Okay, you are continuing. Doesn't matter. Checked by the police. By the police. Question mark. Let us go with the past perfect. What is active form? Subject plus. Come on. What is subject plus? Had plus. Past participle form of the verb. And passive form? Subject plus had plus been. B-double-E-N. Had been. Otherwise together we can write had been. Had plus been plus past participle form of the verb. Come on. Example. There is example. There's no example. Go on. The question. Okay, give an example. His father had advised him not to borrow money. Right? Okay. Subject, his father, right? And advised verb. His father advised to whom? Advised to him. It is object here. Okay, I don't think that last one which was given that is object. Okay, here we can see to whom or what. Okay, to whom he advised? Him. So him become the object. So start with him. He
had been
he had been
advised
by
his father.
Advised
By his
what he had been advised not to borrow money. Advised not to borrow money
By his father.
by his father. Also we can write he had been advised by his father not to borrow money. In that way also we can write it. Okay, one more. What is that? Interrogative one.
Have you
Are you taken all the precautions? Precautions, right?
Yes.
Interrogative, right? Okay. So subject you, right? Taken, verb, all the precautions, object, right? So we have to use important to the object in passive. So all the precautions. Okay, here we have had only. So we don't want to bother about has or have anything. Only had only. So had we have to start. We have to start with the had. Had all the precautions. All the precautions. Precautions being taken. Past participle form of the verb. Taken
By you.
by you. By you. It was an interrogative, so don't forget to put that. Okay, past perfect continuous. Subject plus had been plus had or plus been. Had been plus ing form of the verb. And as I told you before, as I said, as we have seen, past perfect continuous tense cannot be expressed in passive voice. Cannot be expressed. Cannot be expressed. Simple future and future perfect. Let me teach you together. And remember, future continuous tense and future perfect continuous cannot be expressed in passive. Cannot be expressed in passive. Cannot be expressed in passive. So let us omit this one because both are not cannot be expressed in passive. So active form of simple future, subject plus will or shall. Subject plus nowadays will only can be used. That also possible. Subject plus will or shall plus base form of the verb. Base form of the verb. And passive form
Subject plus will or shall plus be plus past participle form of the verb. Okay, let us have an example.
I will buy the tickets.
Huh?
I will buy
I will buy
the tickets
the tickets
in advance.
in advance, right? And we know that I subject will buy verb the tickets objects. Here again you see object comes here only. So remember last which was not given, that is not only the object. So always remember what buy the tickets buy, right? The tickets. The tickets will be bought. It is not compulsory, right? Shall. Always we can use will. Will be bought. Bought in advance.
By me.
In advance
By me.
by me. Again, one only I am doing. Future perfect. Let us go for the future perfect. Active form. Subject plus
Shall or
will or shall plus
have plus
have plus past participle. Have plus past participle form of the verb. And passive form. Subject plus will or shall plus
have be
plus have plus be plus past participle form of the verb. Let us have an example. For an example,
they will have
they will have
done the
done
done the homework
they will have done the homework
at evening
at evening, right? Okay, subject they done will have done. Okay, will have done verb. That means only we refer to main verb only. The homework is the object here, right? The object. So we have start from the homework. The homework will have been past participle form of done only. Done at evening by them, by them at evening. At evening by them. As we have seen here, future continuous and future perfect continuous cannot be expressed in passive form. It can be expressed in active form. Sometimes we can see the sentence begin with the root form of the verb. That means open. Open the door. Sell this bicycle. Shut your mouth. Like that sentences we can see. We know that that is a command. So when the command question comes, how can we convert into passive? So several students are getting difficulty in this question, but it is more easier than the previous questions. So how that form only you want to know it. How can you know it? What is the form of command? Let plus
object
plus
be plus
be plus
bb
past participle form of the verb. This form we have to use. Or object plus should be plus past participle form of the verb. In this both form, either use let plus object plus be plus past participle form of the verb, object plus should be plus past participle form of the verb. So let us see. Let us write the question with one with let, another with should be. So open the door. So let us start with the let. Let plus open the door. What we have to? What is the subject here? Object here? The door. Right? So subject is not compulsory here. It is, that means indirectly you open the door. That means okay. Let the door. Let the door be past participle of open, opened. Okay. How can you write in should be The door should be opened. Or in which way we can write? The door should be opened. Both are correct answer. Two ways we can write this answer. So how can you write sell this bicycle off then?
This bicycle.
Use the verb of let.
Let the bicycle.
Let
The bicycle.
the bicycle. Let the bicycle.
Be
Let the bicycle be.
sold.
Past participle of sold off. Otherwise, or
The bicycle.
the bicycle
should be
should be
Sold.
sold off. The bicycle should be
sold.
sold off. Got it? That's not true. Okay, last part. Sometimes we can see model auxiliaries has given how to find. Okay, let us write the form first. The auxiliary plus the auxiliary plus B plus the auxiliary plus B plus past participle form of the verb. Same only past participle form of the verb. May God bless you. May God bless you with health. Exclamation mark. Okay, see. What is the auxiliary here? May only, right? May, the auxiliary plus B. May be. May, what is that? May you be, because object we can see. Object becomes may God bless you. Object has given, right? Isn't it? Object has given, so it becomes the subject. May you be. May you be blessed. May you be blessed with health. With health. And we know that. One more last one.
We
Must preserve. Really?
SERVE
Preserve
human dignity
human dignity
at all costs.
at all costs. So we can take the object as a subject. Human dignity. Then what is that? Auxiliary. Must be past participle form of preserve. 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 Preserve at all costs. At all costs.